Hi class, in this video I am going to go over how to navigate the course. I am also going to discuss the syllabus and other important course information. So if you go to our course homepage, the first thing you will see is my contact information, my email, along with my office hours. I have office hours Monday through Wednesday from 12 to 2 p.m. via Zoom. So all you have to do is just click this link during those times and you can go ahead and talk to me via Zoom. Also, if these times don't work for you, I can schedule an appointment with you so we can meet at a later or an earlier time. I know that it's always a bit difficult to find a time that works for everybody, but if 12 to 2 p.m. do not work for you, like I said, I can meet with you at another time or on another date as well. And then another important thing to mention is the textbook. Our textbook is free. It's an online version, so you don't have to worry about purchasing a textbook. All you have to do is click it through the home page and you will be able to find the book. So I'm going to open the link in a new tab just so I can show you. And here we have our book. So as you can see, the cover has changed, but it's still the same content. So all you have to do is just go ahead and click on Read Book. And then, obviously, this is the front page. And then you click on the arrow to take you to the next page. And here you have Chapter 1. So you can go ahead and, sometimes I think for a few assignments, I do ask you to take the inventory at the beginning of the chapter. You don't always have to do that, but they are there in case you do want to. And then, of course, more information. And then when you want to click on the page, you can keep going. So one of the things to note is that, for example, the book is divided up into sections. So we're still in Chapter 1, but this is Chapter 1.1. So because it is an online textbook, it might be hard to keep track of where you left off. So just maybe write that down, 1.1. Or if you're on 1.2, make sure you write that down so you know where to begin next time. And another thing to remember is that you can download this textbook, so you can have it on your device, whether it be your laptop, or I think you can also download it like on a tablet or something like that. So like I said, to access the book, all you have to do is click on here. And then if we move along on our home page, I have the introduction to the course, which basically gives you important information on how to navigate and things like that. And then we also have the syllabus, a link to the DACC syllabus supplement, and of course a link to the modules, because the way you want to navigate this course is by clicking the modules. I always have students who want to click on files and find information that way, but there's a lot of files and it just gets too complicated. So the best way to find information is to click on modules and follow them along. So we're going to go over modules a little bit later, and we're also going to go over the introduction to the course a little bit later. But what we're going to go over first is the syllabus. So if you want to download the syllabus, all you have to do is click on it and it'll download to your computer. However, if you just want to check something, all you have to do is click on it here and you will have a file preview. Now you can't do this where it goes full screen if you want to have a bigger version of the syllabus. Okay, so of course the syllabus is rather long. There's a lot of information. I'm not going to go over all of it. So please make sure that you read the syllabus because you are going to have a syllabus quiz. So again, here we have some important information. I do include my phone number in the syllabus. My phone number is for my office. My office is in -99B, which is at the Espina campus. However, currently, as of August 2020, DCC is in phase 1, so we haven't really opened up the campuses, so I'm not at my office. So the best way to reach me is through email or through the office hours through Zoom. However, if you need to talk to me, you can call this number, and once you leave a voicemail, they will go ahead and email me that voicemail, and I can go ahead and call you back if need be, or I can just go ahead and email you. So here we have the course rationale. Here I have another link to the book in case you don't see it in the front page. One of the things that you want to be aware is that this does have a mandatory assignment, and this assignment is assigned to all College 101 classes. And basically what it is you have to write like a end of semester reflection, and this is worth 15% of your grade. So in this class, we don't have a final exam, but we do have a final reflection essay assignment. So this is information that you can read on your own. Once we get down to the assignments, we do have 2 formal assignments. The first one is an essay, and in this essay, you are basically going to come up with a barrier or some sort of obstacle that you're facing this semester. For example, it could be poor time management or procrastination, and you're going to develop an action plan to try to overcome that obstacle during the semester. The other formal assignment is a career research PowerPoint presentation. So basically you're going to create a PowerPoint presentation that contains information that you've researched about your major and about the university that you want to transfer to, or if you don't want to transfer to university, information about DACC, such as how much does the school cost, what classes you need to take, how much will your job pay, does your job have benefits. So the whole point of that assignment is to really get you to research your academic future, like in terms of the school, prices, tuition, things like that, but also the career, because sometimes we go into a career not knowing what benefits they offer, what the schedule is like, and things like that. So those are your 2 formal assignments, and then we have other coursework. We are going to do an ONET profiler, which basically what that is you take like a little survey, and it gives you results of what careers you are better suited for. We also have 10 weekly assignments. Each one is worth 10 points, so that's a total of 100 points. We also have quizzes over the chapters that totals 130 points. And for participation, you get 10 points, and for the 10 discussions we have during the semester, that's 100 points. So this comes out to 600 points. So here I talk a little bit more about the assignments. I basically tell you that weekly assignments are due on Sundays. The first essay obviously will have a specific due date, but it'll typically be on a Sunday as well. The career research PowerPoint, that has a specific due date, but it will be due on a Sunday as well. When it comes to the discussions, pretty much each week we're going to have a discussion, and in order to get the 10 out of 10 points, you have to go ahead and reply to the original post, which is basically the discussion question that I posed for that week. And you have to reply to that in a well thought out, grammatically correct post. And you have to post that by Thursday. And the reason why I say Thursday is because we always have people who want to finish their discussions early, but sometimes they can't reply to anyone else because not enough people have posted a reply. So your first post is due by Thursday, and you have until Saturday to go ahead and reply to a classmate. So in order to get the full 10 points, you have to reply to me, the original discussion post, in a well thought out, about 6 to 10 sentences, grammatically correct post. And you also have to reply to a classmate. Now, the discussion post does not close until Saturday. So make sure you remind yourself, or make sure you write it on your calendar, that your first post is always due by Thursday. Now, obviously, it's the beginning of the semester and we're starting on a Wednesday. So obviously for this week, your first discussion post is due on on Sunday. But that's only because this is a short week. Once we start next week, your discussion posts will be due on Thursday and Saturday. So please keep that in mind, because a lot of people tend to forget this. And again, it's so that people who want to finish their discussion posts early can go ahead and do so. Because if you wait until Saturday to post both of your discussion posts, I do take off points from your participation grade. So make sure that you don't wait until Saturday to post them. And if you have any questions about the grading for the discussion questions, I do have a rubric attached. But of course, you're always welcome to ask me any questions you might have. And we also have quizzes. The quizzes are always due on Saturdays. So make sure that you remember, discussion posts are due Thursdays and Saturdays. Quizzes are due on Saturdays. Writing exercises / writing assignments are due on Sunday. Okay, so moving on to classroom management, it is very important to keep in mind that this class is an online class, which means that everything, including communication and coursework, is done online. So it's very important that you have access to reliable internet, but it's also important that you are an independent learner and you're involved. So please make sure that you check Canvas frequently. I post announcements every single Monday, which I'll get to in a little bit, but just make sure that you have reliable access to internet. Please keep in mind that computer malfunctions, Wi-Fi or internet connection, and having issues with your computer are not considered valid excuses. So if you are having issues, please make sure you contact me right away, but also don't wait until the very last minute to submit an assignment or things like that, because technology issues always tend to happen like when we don't want them to happen. So just make sure that you give yourself enough time, and if you are having computer issues and you haven't been able to fix them, go ahead and email me and maybe I can help you out. Also, physical attendance for this class is mandatory, which means that you should be logging in weekly and participating weekly and submitting assignments. If you don't do that, then I have the option to withdraw you from the course, or if you don't do that, you might fail the class. Specifically or especially because I don't allow late work, so that is something to keep in mind, that if you don't log in weekly, you might miss some of the work. Also, please make sure that you are respectful of myself and your classmates at all time. When you are posting in your discussions, please make sure that it's relevant to the discussion post and to the course. Please do not post any personal information or anything that might be offensive or derogatory to anyone. It's important that we express ourselves, but it's also important that we do it in a respectful manner. And it's also important to be open-minded and open to different viewpoints. So on the other end, if somebody posts something that you don't agree with, it's okay to respectfully disagree. Just don't be rude or mean about it as well. So just make sure that you're respectful at all times. I do have a list of netiquette guidelines that you should adhere by. So like, for example, use academic English, avoid using all caps because that usually implies that you are shouting. Make sure that, again, you use proper standard academic English. Don't use slang or words that people might not be familiar with or anything like that. So like I mentioned earlier, I don't allow late work, and the reason for that is because late work tends to become a habit. And like, for example, I grade everything through the speed grader. So if it's submitted on Canvas, I grade it. If you submit work late, then usually I accept that work through email, which means I have to go back and grade it. So usually when it comes to late work, I grade it after I've graded everything that was submitted on time. So it's just best to submit work on time. However, I am aware that things happen, emergencies happen, so I am pretty understanding. So if you do miss an assignment, make sure that you email me and let me know what happened, and then I'll let you know if you can make up the assignment. Please don't email me the assignment before you've asked me, because sometimes I can tell you, oh, okay, I'll open up the assignment for you, submit it through Canvas. Sometimes I'll say, oh, the assignment already closed, so just email it to me. So it's always better to just email me first, tell me what the situation was, and then I can go ahead and tell you if you should submit it through Canvas or if you should email it to me, how you should email it to me, things like that. So like I said, I am pretty flexible in terms of, if you have some sort of issue going on, I am understanding and flexible, but also keep in mind that I cannot allow too much late work, or I cannot extend deadlines for one person or for multiple people, because then that means that we are not following DACC policy in terms of like hours per week and hours outside of class and things like that. So just keep in mind that there's only so much late work that I can accept, even if you're going through a rough situation and things like that. There's only so much late work that I can accept. But really what I want to emphasize is if you are going through something that is preventing you from submitting work on time, please talk to me as soon as possible. Don't let it get to the point where you miss like 10 assignments, because I've had that happen before where students tell me at the end of the semester, I missed 10 assignments, can I make them all up? And it's like, well, the semester ends tomorrow, we don't have time. So I do offer a lot of extra credit, and the extra credit that I offer is usually going to workshops. Now during regular semesters, the tutoring center, the ARC, would have workshops at each campus. Now what they are doing is they're having virtual workshops through Zoom. So if you attend those, you get 5 points. If you write a summary, you get 10 points. So, you know, if you do miss an assignment, keep an eye out for extra credit. I always post announcements with upcoming workshops and things like that. So make sure you keep an eye out on the announcements. Okay, so something that I should mention, especially because everything is online this semester, is that you are expected to have 2 to 3 hours of homework outside the classroom for every 1 hour inside the classroom. So just keep that in mind, that this class is 3 credit hours. So you're supposed to maybe be doing like 9 hours, 6 or 9 hours of work outside of the classroom. Now, of course, that's not always the case, because like, for example, with the chapters, some people might read those faster than other people. Some of the assignments, for example, I might think one assignment might take you an hour, but for some people it might take them like 45 minutes or something like that. So this is like a general formula. It doesn't mean that you should be spending 9 hours every single week doing homework. It just means that, you know, you are expected to have homework outside of the classroom. So just keep that in mind, that this is why we have assignments due on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, because you're supposed to be active for a few hours throughout the whole week, not just on the weekends. Of course, plagiarism, I think everybody knows what that is, but make sure that everything you submit is your own work. For essays and some writing assignments, I will use the Turnitin software that's available on Canvas, and basically what this does, it tells you your originality score. So it'll tell you what percentage of your paper is plagiarized. Now, I don't use that to get anybody in trouble. I use that so that you can see if your paper has a lot of plagiarized content, and that way you can go ahead and fix it before you submit it for the final time. And of course, you are expected to attend, but if you want to withdraw from the class, make sure you do it yourself. Make sure that you initiate the process, that you go talk to your advisor, and you let them know that you want to drop the class. Please don't expect me to do it, because like I said, I'm not on campus, and I don't know necessarily if you want to stay or if you want to withdraw. So it's just better if you want to withdraw that you do it yourself. Here we have some important dates to remember. Obviously, we have Labor Day coming up, so we don't have any assignments due on that day. So basically what that means is that you have that day off, but for us, it doesn't really impact us that much because we don't have assignments due on Monday. But for example, when it comes to Thanksgiving week, which is November 23rd to the 27th, on that week, we won't have any work. And also, make sure that you keep an eye out on the last day to drop a course with a W, which is October 16th, and the last day to drop a course without a W for a refund is September 4th. So make sure you keep those dates in mind just in case. Over here we have the student code of conduct with Zoom sessions. So now that we're using Zoom, it's important to make sure that you read this and make sure that you adhere to these guidelines as well. Basically, I think they're pretty common sense, you know, such as make sure that you are in a well-lit place, that you have your name show up on the Zoom, you know, so that it doesn't, because sometimes like I had a student who went to a workshop and it just said iPhone. So we didn't know who he was. So for safety reasons, make sure that you avoid, make sure that we can see your face, make sure that you avoid offensive language and things like that. And here we have the schedule. So as you can see, I divided it up by week, by reading assignment, and by assignments that are due. So like for example, the first week, you should read the syllabus and the getting started module. And then the first week, we have the syllabus quiz and the first discussion. For week 2, you should read chapter 1 and how to make it in college. And then you should read discussion 2, and then discussion 2, assignment 1, and the chapter 1 quiz are due by the end of that week. So I think it's pretty straightforward, but again, if you have any questions, let me know. So this concludes the video going over the syllabus. Next, I am going to record a video that goes over the course navigation on Canvas, and I will show you how the modules are organized according to the tentative schedule. So make sure you also watch the course navigation video.